What's up, guys? Welcome to the All Good Things podcast. Welcome back here in our studio. We have two close friends today, two close friends of mine. They're close friends, Matt King and Mike Sheffer.
Thank you, Jason.
What an honor to be here.
You know, we were just talking about something interesting before this. We were asking, why is it called a podcast?
Oh, yeah. Do you know why it's called a podcast?
I don't.
Okay, so Steve Jobs, RIP, I believe invented the term in, I think it was 2002, and the term is a portmanteau. Look that up. It's a combination of words to make a new word, I think.
A portmanteau.
Yeah,
I
and
like
it's
that.
of the word iPod and broadcast. So it's a podcast because you're broadcasting for the iPod. It's a podcast.
No
That's
way.
really cool.
You want to know what else is interesting? I just made that up.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek. Yes, SeatGeek, they're back. If you go and download the app and you use my code NASH, you're going to get $20 off your first order. Enjoy the episode.
Did you really make that up?
Kind of. I've heard that before, but I don't know if it's fact-checked. So we can fact-check it. Oh, I am right.
Podcast is a portmanteau of iPod
Oh, my
and
God.
broadcast.
Oh, yes. Let's go, baby.
Ding, ding, 10 points to Mike Sheffer.
The earliest use of podcasting was traced to the Guardian columnist and BBC journalist Ben Hammersley, who coined it early February 2004 while writing an article for The Guardian.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
Steve
it's
Jobs
not
probably
Steve.
took that. I think the first time it hit like pop culture lexicon, Steve Jobs talked about it as part of iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
Good God, I'm so happy I got that right. And that the joke landed that I made it up.
Yeah.
What is new? The two most intellectual friends in the group, the two people that have seen all of Seinfeld.
I actually have it.
You have it?
I keep trying to get into Seinfeld because Mike really enjoys it. And I want to be able to like bond with Mike and make jokes about it and make little references.
You know who has done that?
Who?
Todd Smith has binge watched every episode of Seinfeld. He'll text me clips from the show. We'll joke about it now. We'll laugh about it. It's a great time.
You only really need to watch like season 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
Because Larry David leaves, and then they don't get their rhythm until the third season.
Netflix does suggest the highlights.
Just watch those then.
Yeah, watch those because those are like the memorable ones.
What is your favorite sitcom?
The Succession count as a sitcom? I haven't watched a sitcom in forever.
Really? You don't have like a 90s like nostalgic,
like a laugh track sitcom?
Yeah, something that you grew up watching.
I guess like Everybody Loves Raymond. No, Full House. Full House.
There you go.
Hands down, Full House. Are you kidding me?
Have you seen the show Fleischman in Trouble?
No, but I've heard of that.
I've only seen like half of the first episode. Claire Danes,
It's so
Jesse
good.
Eisenberg. Yeah.
I mean, it's about a divorced guy who hates his life, so I relate to it. But
hold on, is this the old couch from Unfiltered?
No, it's
Okay.
not. No, but I think we both went to the cheapest furniture store. Me and Zane went to.
Kick back some memories. You know, Jason, Mike has been doing cold plunges in the morning.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And what can I see?
Yeah. So basically, I want to get healthier. I want to get more fit.
You need to work out.
But no, this is my mantra: is anything but exercise. I will do anything but exercise.
Why don't you like exercise?
I just hate it. I always have, and I feel like I always will.
There was a period where I did get Mike in the gym for like 3 days one week.
Yeah.
But then I think Mike got too sore. He didn't like how sore he felt.
That's a good feeling.
Yes, but you get sore for like the first 2 weeks, and then you usually don't get sore anymore.
There's been a few flashes, a few sprints. When Matt had his tonal at first, and he used to live very close to me, I was doing the tonal. I did it maybe for 2 weeks. Yeah. I can't last more than 2 weeks exercising.
Just don't like it.
I hate it.
But you like your walks, right? When
yeah.
the sun goes down.
His strolls, his little Sheffer strolls.
I started with the cold showers.
Okay.
But then Matt put this in my head, which I kind of wish he didn't because it made me hate the cold shower. I was doing the cold showers for like 2 weeks, and then I told Matt to do it, and he's like, I like the shower. It's a sanctuary. I like the warmth of it. I don't want to ruin the end of my shower and like not look forward to it by turning the water on cold and hating it.
Right.
So I was like, wow, I don't want to do that either. So instead, I just wake up in the morning. I do my Wim Hof breathing.
Yep.
And then I put on a bathing suit and I put on some flip-flops, and it's like 48 degrees, 42 degrees.
Did you
in the
buy
morning.
a tub or you have ice?
No, in my
Just goes in the
pool.
pool.
Oh, you just jump in the pool.
Yeah.
The pool's not heated.
My
It's
pool's
cold.
not heated, and it's getting to like 40 degrees here in LA at night, and it's like 42 degrees in the morning. I just walk down the stairs, and I'm just convulsing like, and I can last the first time I probably lasted less than 10 seconds, and now I'm up to like 35 seconds. I
go
want to get
in,
up to.
But do like Joe Rogan, man. Just go in there and go.
You won't even try it once.
Oh,
You tell me
come
you're
on.
going, you can't. I promise you're going to go in and you will last less than 10 seconds.
My record, I did 2 minutes the first time.
You did it at the Aloe thing,
Or
right?
maybe it was 3. I can't remember. And then Jess did 5. And then I broke Jess's record. I did 8.
The same day?
8
No,
minutes.
no, the next time we went back.
I think your body does adapt. Like there is this like crazy response that you
the
get.
Wim Hof works.
Yes,
it
I
really
agree.
does. Have you tried it?
Yeah, when I should try to quit nicotine. Yeah, for sure.
How's that going? Oh, speaking of quitting nicotine, I promised you one of these.
Oh, yeah.
What is this?
Jason's trying to quit nicotine.
Yeah, I don't smoke, but I chew Nicorette,
Yes.
and I need to quit. But this is called Kickstart. It's not an ad, so it's
It
not
says
like a brand deal or
Kickstick.
anything. I'm sorry.
Kickstick.
Kickstick. And it's licorice root.
looks
just
like
a
it looks
root?
like a,
You wanna try one?
You look like Harry Potter one.
All right, I'll take the other one then.
Well, which one is like which side do you chew on?
Either.
Either?
You just chew on licorice? It's like a dog bone for humans.
This does just taste like a stick.
No, you gotta crack it open.
Okay.
Let's talk about your engagement. Let's talk about that.
My engagement?
I'm very, very into it. I think it's great. You're getting married.
It's pretty awesome.
And I have a new relationship myself. So love is in the air.
Yeah.
And how was that? How
Is it? Is love in the air?
Well, we were actually
Mike,
talking about
you're gonna meet somebody.
I'm kidding.
I'm always trying to set Mike up.
You
I
gotta
really am.
you gotta widen the net. You can't just listen. I'm Jewish, so I can say this. You can't just go for Jews. There's not enough of them. You gotta widen the net. There's a lot of people out there. I know you want to marry a Jewish girl, but you know, don't you think, Matt? Don't you think you should?
I agree, but I'm always setting Mike up with great Jewish girls.
On Sunday, I got lunch with Jess and her friends,
Yeah.
and I posted a Instagram story of like all of us getting pizza.
Yeah.
And it's like Jess and, two Gentile girls who don't look Jewish at all. And I got a DM from one of my old college friends who's very Jewish, and he goes, "Don't fall into the shiksa trap of LA. You have to meet a Jewish girl." Just like, you can't escape it. I'm just like, I know, they're just friends. It's fine.
I mean, I get it. It's nice.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack. Love is in the air. Matt's getting engaged.
I am engaged.
Or Matt's getting married.
And I'm getting married. What's great so far in the process of like having now been engaged and, setting the date, figuring out where you want to get married is that Patricia has had like her venue and like the church planned since she was like a kid. So that's easy. All we had to do was lock in a date. We took our pictures. That's done.
Great.
Now it's just making the list and agreeing on who's coming. Which ones are your friends? Which ones are her friends? Which ones are y'all's friends, like
Right.
as a group, or which family members are coming? And then you're also like getting into, you got to have some conversations with your parents, being like, because you got to let your parents invite their own people to
My
the wedding.
first wedding, there was 100 people there I didn't know. That
Yeah.
were just parents' friends. Yeah.
But then you're kind of like, well, then who have these people been? Where have these people been my entire life?
Yeah.
If you're meeting someone at your own wedding, that's probably a little strange, right?
Yes.
Unless
Completely
they're
strange.
from the bride's side and genuinely you don't know them, but
I'm saying if the couple is meeting someone for the first time, that's
Yes.
a little nuts.
I think that's strange.
Most of what I went through was like my ex-wife's father's friends who he like did business with. He insisted that they all be invited, which is fine, and he paid for it. But
Guess how many groomsmen this guy's gonna have?
how many?
Is it 11, 12?
What?
It started at 14.
Hey, I have to balance out the bridesmaids.
It started at 14, Jason. 14. Groomsmen and brides are gonna. It's gonna be a Wu-Tang
You can-
Clan
I've
concert.
never
Is there
heard of-
two?
I've
never
so
heard of
that
that
is
many.
the max amount, but it's like, but I've gone to weddings where there've been like 14.
And Cody and Devin, are they in there?
No.
Cody Co. I love your
I'm-
obsession with him and Cody Co.
I'm not-
I love Cody Co.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I wish I was.
I'm going-
I wish I was closer with him.
I'm going to
He's one of the only YouTubers I watch.
Oh yeah, he's great.
I'm going
But-
to Cody Co's wedding.
But he's always. You are.
Mhm.
See,
Got the invite.
that's
I
great.
got the invite. Sometimes I do think, I was originally supposed to propose in September.
oh,
And what
The
happened?
day I got it, I genuinely think you may have caused my appendicitis, or you had something to do with it, Jason.
100%.
Because
Yes.
you surprised me. So for the people who don't know, I proposed to Patricia on October 13th. Yes, October 13th. But I was supposed to propose in September, mid-September. But I got appendicitis. But the day I got appendicitis was the day I was going to the Emmys, and I was so excited. But Jason had a surprise for me. He was recording a podcast episode. Jason surprised me with Pete Holmes, who's one of my my favorite podcast comedian personalities.
Sure.
I listen to.
So talented.
And I had been wanting to meet this guy for forever, but Jason blindfolded me that day. I was already stressed about proposing to my girlfriend that week.
Shoot.
That week he was supposed to do it, like 3 days
I
later.
was supposed to get on a flight the next day.
You're saying the Pete Holmes surprise gave you appendicitis.
Yes, because
Jason.
he was so stressed. He showed up in a tuxedo because he was stressed about
Looked
arriving
great.
to the Emmys on time.
Right.
And arriving to the Emmys on time so you can go to the after party on. There was a whole domino effect.
So after the after party, you were going to propose.
No, he was going to fly the next day.
I was gonna fly the next day, but my family had a flight. They were gonna like surprise Patricia there after the proposal. Then we were all gonna go to the Auburn Penn State game. My aunt and uncle were coming in, and my brother and his girlfriend were coming in. Jason,
But he didn't even know it was a surprise from you. I just told him, you got to show up to my house. I'm going to drive you somewhere that you can't see, and you're going to blindfold and walk in. And he didn't know it was you until we walked into the room. So for about an hour and a half, he's just in a tuxedo, sweating, stressing, thinking he's going to miss the Emmys, worried about what the surprise is. What's it going to be? Am I going to get pranked? He just... all this anxiety running through his body. And then it's Pete Holmes, his idol of all times. He has fantasized about meeting Pete Holmes. He's told me he wants to you want to meet him in an organic way, right? You don't want to fanboy.
Yeah, and I think it was also a bit of like the sensory deprivation of like my being. I was blindfolded the longest I've ever been in my entire life. Not to the point where I feel like it was like torture, but like.
But it's a sensory deprivation
And
experience.
so then going into that room and then just being in immediate like shock, such a whirlwind. I feel like did something inside me.
It's ridiculous.
Trust me, it's like nothing to like. You are not at fault, but it definitely.
He had to leave the Emmys. He was at the Emmys for 30 minutes.
Yeah, then I went to the Emmys, and I remember just getting a terrible tummy ache and being like, I have to go. And
where'd you go?
Well, then
to my house.
I crawled. I was at the Emmys, and I was with Zane, and Zane was in like such a good mood, and I couldn't be in a good mood with him. And you know me, I like to chat. I like to enjoy a scene. Yeah. I couldn't talk to anybody. All I wanted to do was just crawl up and die. I hid behind, and I started sweating really, really bad. And then I called you, and I said, I'm getting a lift right now. I need to just go to your place because I couldn't go into my house because Zane had the key, and he couldn't give me the key or something. And I went there, and Mike was like, "You're overreacting. It's because you're proposing." Gaslighting.
I just thought he was a little overwhelmed and had some stressful day. I'm not a doctor. I don't know your appendix is exploding. I went on WebMD,
and then we recorded 2 episodes of Good Influences. And the whole time, I'm like, "How?"
You did the next morning.
The next morning we did 2
podcast.
episodes of Good Influences, and he was wincing the whole time. And then Carly and Erin, they did a video with him after, and then they took him to the ER.
They're putting you to work. Mm-hmm.
And then they were with him at the ER for like, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, and then they had to leave. So I showed up to the ER for like another hour. They finally saw Matt. We waited another 2 hours for the scans. It's like 9 at night. And then the doctors come over and go, "Sir, we're going to have to remove your appendix." And me and Matt were just like, there is no fucking way this is happening right now.
What did you say to the nurses, though, that one time?
She goes...
I remember it hurt so bad because I wanted to laugh so hard. But
it was like a young group of doctors. It was like a team of like, young doctors. It was like a girl and 2 guys, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she said something. She was given the diagnosis. She goes, "Yeah, so the tip is a little bit enlarged." And I go, "Hell yeah, brother, your tip is enlarged." And she laughed at that.
Like, Mike. It was like a very
killing
serious...
you, getting some laughs.
Serious conversation.
Huh? It was a serious
just to
moment.
clarify, my appendix though, it didn't rupture. It just became super inflamed, and then I removed it.
I can't wait till Pete Holmes hears the story.
Oh, I know.
That is so funny. I had no idea because he wasn't like. I don't think he's ever surprised anybody. Like, that's not his thing.
Yeah.
And then the one person he surprises.
Because also after
appendicitis.
it, I was so like, I was already in shock. I remember the whole ride back to, we were getting dropped off at Lauren DIY's house. I was so just like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. Because it was just, I was in shock the whole time. I couldn't process all the things I really wanted to ask him and talk to him about.
Okay. So I caused that. Cool.
Yeah.
And then, so you have to put it off for 3 months.
1 month.
1 month.
We
We were talking to the doctors. Like, I was trying to negotiate with the doctors. Like, look, he's supposed to be on a flight in like 12 hours. He's going to propose. Can we do this in like 3 days? Can he propose? And I was just like trying to negotiate with them.
Yeah.
They were like, you have to cancel this flight. You have to cancel the proposal. You're going under the knife in like 6 hours. And so Patricia was on her way, and she obviously didn't know. So we had to make these phone calls to Matt's family, her parents, and cancel a proposal 12 hours before it's supposed to happen.
But you know what I gotta say, Mike, you are such a good friend and
You are
a
a
great
good friend.
co-host as well. But those are those times where you are so grateful that you have somebody there.
Mike's my emergency
with you.
contact.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might start.
That's a
putting
smart thing. I have a
putting
good
you-
emergency
Who
contact.
is your emergency contact?
Mike.
It's me.
Oh, I thought it's like Wyatt. Or
Mike
like,
and my ex-wife, yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Really?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Just to
I'm honored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you know,
I always worry. I still put. Who do you put?
I put my mom, but she's in New Jersey, so she can't really do anything.
Right. That's kind of not a good idea. I feel like as we're adults and we're living far away from our parents, should we?
It's really funny of all celebrities that Pete Holmes did that to you. You know,
I know.
It wasn't Obama.
It
wasn't
was
Justin
how
Bieber.
much, it was because of how much it was just because of how much I've consumed
Jennifer Lawrence.
his stuff. Yeah, none of that would have done it. It's Pete Holmes. It's those types of celebrities who do it for me. It's the ones where
Who else? Who else would be like a really cool? I know you love celebrities.
Oh,
People
my
say you name
gosh.
drop a lot.
Ezra Koenig.
Matt King name
Well, we're
drops.
writing
like
the- we're
David
writing the
Dobrik.
roast.
David Dobrik name drops a lot.
David's on another. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
David.
Like,
Yeah.
Sure, I name drop a lot.
I mean,
who
David's
would-
on another plane.
Who would do it for me? Honestly, after Pete Holmes meeting him, I kind of have mellowed out.
Ezra Koenig from Vampire Weekend.
Oh yeah, Ezra
that would be
Koenig,
cool.
or Bo Burnham, but I don't want to talk to Bo Burnham.
We
He
saw
would
Bo
hate-
Burnham the
he
other
would hate-
day
Where
in
at?
Studio City, just walking along. And so now you go and where did you do your proposal?
I did my proposal at a place called.
Dave and Buster's. Sorry.
I did my proposal. I remember being very stressed about trying to find a new place to propose because I think I was very angry because I had it so visualized in my head.
Yeah.
I was going to do it in Alabama. I was going to do it in her backyard, but it was perfect because
Yeah.
I don't know, she had such a connection with it and we thought that would be a great place and in a lot more control. Just
Did you feel a lot of pressure to make it perfect?
no. And that's what I loved is Patricia, she's a really easygoing gal, but we always kind of were on the same page that we didn't want to make our proposal like a stunt or a performance, but all respect to how people want to propose. But sometimes I think some people just amp up the theatrics of their proposal
Right.
where it kind of ruins the heart and the
authenticity of
moment.
it.
You should do that with your significant other, by yourself somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have their friends and family immediately rush in, or
Yep.
you have sometimes a photographer there, and it gets sometimes it's so obvious.
What's your take on having a photographer there?
Well, I recommend.
You think that's cheesy?
It depends. No, but have the photographer really far away. We actually had two friends who helped set up a picnic, and then they were kind of hiding, and then they kind of took really blurry cute videos from far away, but we loved that. We loved that.
Right.
That was the interaction. And they came over and they helped take photos of us after we had proposed.
Yeah.
I think take photos after you propose and maybe one far away of you proposing, but just
You don't want to get lav mic'd up. Hey, testing, is this
don't
working?
don't record. I don't know.
Can you check the focus on the? Yeah, you don't want that.
Don't record your proposal or you want to hear everything that you said. But once again, all respect to people who do it.
Yeah, because
But-
we were somewhere and this couple got engaged and it was insane. He had it was the most beautiful place in Italy.
yeah.
And people came. It was photographed. It was videotaped. Everybody came out. And it feels like too much.
I feel just do honestly. Happy wife is a happy life. So
Have you
do
always
really
wanted
what?
to be married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah?
sure. Yeah. Is this a very easy podcast for you right now, or but for the big guest, do you have a lot of questions and stuff? Do you do a lot of preparation?
This is fun.
Fun.
The big guests, I'm more nervous and just hoping. Talking to Phineas,
but-
you just want to make sure he has a good time. I don't know him that well, and
Yeah,
or Julie Bowen or
we know him pretty well.
We know him pretty well.
yeah.
We were just at his house. What was it? How many days ago?
4 days ago.
Oh,
Or
really?
holiday party.
How was
Yeah,
that?
That was pretty cool.
invite.
Was it a Christmas party?
Yep.
It was.
Damn.
It was.
Played
they
a little.
Did they play?
Yeah, he played a little music.
No, he didn't.
Sing some carols. Oh, yeah.
I did a little Hava Nagila on the family piano.
Did you?
Do you like Ben Folds?
I guess I used to 40 years ago, but
You need to see Phineas perform Ben Folds'
Brick?
song "The Luckiest" on the Wurlitzer. Remember that night?
At his. Who are you guys?
It was
cool.
incredible. But just, it's one of those things. I don't know if the world will ever see it, but we saw it. And it was just, brought me to tears.
He did a nice job.
Yeah.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Babbel. Guys, do you want to learn a new language in the new year? Well, Babbel is a great choice for you. It's a language learning app that is fantastic. I've been using it a little bit myself to brush up on my Spanish with my housekeeper, Irma. Irma does not speak English, and I do not speak Spanish. So sometimes it's difficult to communicate. So I'm using Babbel to learn a little bit and get things right so I can feel more comfortable talking to Irma. But Irma's the best, so I feel pretty comfortable. We've managed to do it so far, but I only want to make it better, and that's why Babbel is so cool. Babbel has sold over 10 million subscriptions, and thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easy bite-sized language lessons, you can feel confident no matter where the new year takes you. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having real-life conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts and voiced by real native speakers, not computers. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. That's always good. There's so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, get 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/Nash. That's babbel.com/Nash for up to 55% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. My thanks to Babbel for sponsoring, and back to the podcast. And you guys have another podcast called Good Influences. I should have said that up top.
Yeah.
How's that?
I love Good Influences.
Yeah,
if we could do Good Influences every single day, I would.
That's like vacation. It's unbelievable that it's doing so well.
Carly and Erin were here. They told some funny stories, but I can't remember what they were.
Oh, wait, so they're going to be
I think it was
on
about
an
Lady
episode of
Gaga
this?
or something?
Oh, yeah, my Lady Gaga story that nobody believes.
It never happened.
What was the story?
I was already thinking that right when Lady Gaga came out of your mouth, or yours. I was like, oh, God, here we go.
Long story short, because I've already told this, but I was at an event in a VIP area. Lady Gaga shows up with her dancers and her entourage. We're watching the show. Everyone's trying to get a picture with her or whatever, and her and I start talking because she's just next to me at the show. And I said, oh, I'm from New Jersey. She goes, oh, I spent a lot of time in New Jersey in Short Hills. I said, oh, I had my bar mitzvah in Short Hills. And she's like, oh, cool. I'm playing tomorrow. And I was like, oh, that's so great. I don't know that I know your songs that well because I don't really listen to pop music. And she's like, you don't listen to pop music? I said, no. So I don't really know a lot of your songs. And she was like, oh, what about this one? And then she starts like singing one of her songs and did her signature eye thing. And I am just like, please stop. This is so embarrassing because everyone's just watching her perform for me. And then her dancers start doing the backup dance with her. And then I was like,
where were you?
At a VIP, at a South by Southwest event at a VIP section while Reggie Watts was playing. We went to go see Reggie Watts. That's what it was.
Okay, so at this point in time, Reggie Watts is more famous than Lady Gaga.
No. People stopped watching the Reggie Watts show and looked up at the VIP balcony because Lady Gaga was there.
The point is, Mike is saying to Lady Gaga, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
No,
and
I didn't
she
say I don't know who you are.
I know, but you go, I'm not familiar with your music or whatever you said. And then she goes, Roma,
yeah.
and gets her backup dancers. That whole moment never happened.
Yes, it did.
There is no way Lady Gaga would do something like that. Even Jess agrees.
It's fine that no one believes me.
I think you told the story one time. You told this story once, and then you realized
first
you
of
had
all,
to stick with this story for the rest of your life.
No,
I think you started with a little bit of a white lie. We exaggerate at times.
Nope.
Everybody does it.
Brian Williams said he was in a helicopter over Iraq. He was not.
That is true, right? Yeah.
I have my brother was my brother was with me. My best friend was with me, and right afterwards I called my other friend who was the biggest Lady Gaga fan and told him exactly what happened word for word. And I called him up and I said, "Hey, is this what happened?" He said, "Yes, that's what you told me when it happened."
And did you feel dumb later when you found out she was a huge deal?
No, I know that Lady Gaga is a huge deal, but I couldn't place a Lady Gaga song versus a Katy Perry song versus a Taylor Swift song at the time because I was just
Bro, she was huge.
I know she was huge. It was, and this was. Then she invited me to the show. She's like, "You should come to the show tomorrow."
See, now we're gonna toss in this detail.
No, I told you this already, but then she left, and I didn't get any information, and I didn't give her my name or anything, so it was kind of like an empty.
That's my my one celebrity crush.
Lady Gaga?
Unreal. Did you ever see the story on Howard that she told?
No.
She
99 people can be in a room, but if one believes in you.
That's like her like go-to.
Have you seen
all
her
that
like
she was
tell
doing
that
the
story
press
100
conference.
times? Yeah.
This is when I fell in love with her. He goes, what's Edge of Glory about? She and then Edge of Glory, it's like a fast dance song. Like, oh, right. And she goes, well, I wrote that watching my grandfather die. And he was like, what? He's like, how could you write that about your grandfather dying? Like, well, I don't understand. It's a dance song. And she's like, oh, well, let me show you. And she goes on the piano and she plays it like really slow. And she's like, I was just like looking into his eyes and he was dying. And he was like, he's on the edge. And I was just like, after I heard that, I was like,
Yeah, she's a real artist.
How do you take that and then turn it into a dance song? Like, that's literally my favorite thing in life. Like, just hearing people. That was what I loved about Phineas. Like, I was begging him, like, tell me how you wrote Bad Guy. Like, that's my favorite. Or he said something really cool. He showed me how he wrote the Bond theme.
I mean,
that's
insane.
Insane. And he just said, he goes, once I got bum, 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 whatever it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember it now. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Unbelievable. You have a lot of success at South by Southwest. Didn't you hang out with Tyler, the Creator, too?
Yep.
How was that?
Spent like the day with that whole crew.
What goes on at South by Southwest? I've never been.
It's the best.
You should roll with us.
It's so. It's the best.
Mike
Did you have a good time?
love South by Southwest.
I went for 10 years in a row. So
Yeah?
me and like my crew have developed like a cult awareness of people like know who we are at South by. Like the people who run the events, the people who run the security. They're like, oh, the headband boys are back this year.
And you can just get in anywhere.
Yeah, basically.
Are we still going to be rocking the headbands?
100 billion% till I die.
Did you go last year?
No, we didn't. Last year was, it's shut down during 2020, and then we didn't go last year because I wasn't sure if it was like going to be up and running full. And
It was a bit of a gamble last year.
Yeah, but I think this year I want to go.
Oh yeah, full.
Is it more films that you go see or bands?
Well, it starts off with film
and film.
and well, no, it doesn't start.
Music and
music
technology.
is at the end. It's film and technology,
That's what I said.
and then it goes into music.
Yes.
so the first week is
film and technology, but we don't go to like the panels. There will be Intel will have a house, or Pepsi
we don't
will,
even get the badges.
Yeah, we don't even get the badges.
We just go to the parties.
Yes, yeah. We're not there to like learn from industry experts or like see panels.
We're there to network.
Yeah.
And just mingle.
Have you ever gotten a good brand deal from going there?
Yeah, I would say
think
so.
I've met a lot of people at South by that
We've had brand deals at South by,
Yes.
and we have met people who work on like the media teams
because
and
it's a lot of
stuff
brand
who-
doing activations there.
And
Yeah.
Mike, you manage Matt too,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
And how did you decide that Mike would be your manager?
How did I decide it? Well,
was
you know
in
what? Okay, so
Bon Air, right?
It was in Bon Air, but so we had met at Good Time at Davey Wayne's. Hey, Jason, you may have been there. I know Todd was there, and we just ended up talking to Mike, and I learned he did social media managing, and I needed a manager during that time in my life. I had kind of like flirted with a couple managers, flirting meaning like trying them out to see if they were a good fit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in LA, a lot of managers are really slimy kind of people.
Yeah.
And like you get talking to conversations with them, and then they want to provide the best future for you, and it's just this whole kind of rigmarole. And I don't know, it was really sketched out by a lot. But then Mike, was really great is because you weren't interested in becoming my manager. You were helping me figure out what I wanted to do or what I needed to do, or getting me out of like a bad headspace of like, I don't know, my own anxiety being a social media creator.
Right.
And he really like cleared some stuff in my head for me. And it was almost like he was halfway like a motivational speaker.
He's
was
very
like-
motivational
Yeah.
that way.
And I was like, well, I like this guy. And I really needed someone to work with. And then I remember, we went to Bon Air. You were still on the fence about
Bon Air?
hiring me.
Bon Air's an island in the Caribbean.
It's part of the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bermuda,
and Curacao. No,
Bon Air
and Curacao.
and Curacao.
They're the Dutch. They're owned by the Dutch, or like the Amsterdam, whatever it is. And so it's like there's a lot of Dutch people. That's like their whatever.
It's kind of near the Yucatan Peninsula.
You two are so funny.
Anyways,
what a pair.
But Mike, no, you actually was the moment where I think you kind of realized you want to be my manager. I had an Instagram stories deal that came through, and the offer was really, really low.
Oh, yeah.
And I was in New York, and I was really stressed out. I even think I was like going through a breakup. I remember like that's when I was smoking cigarettes a lot because y'all lived in that big building, and I would go outside. Anyways, I just remember all this.
Yeah.
And I go there, and the Mike was like, "You shouldn't be doing that. You should be having it at a higher deal." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Hold on, I'm going to get on a phone call with the person who's offering you this deal, and I'm not going to take a cut as a manager. I just want to like do this for you. You then hopped
I
on the
think it was
call.
Jared
I didn't
who
even
made
want
the
to
call.
hang. I didn't even want to like listen to the call because sometimes like deals, like I can't listen to them.
Sure.
Mike things come back. He turned it into what was going to be like. I hate talking about money, but it was like it was going to be like what was going to be like a couple $1,000s into like $10,000.
No way.
Yeah.
How did you get good at negotiating? Where did you learn that?
I think that specific phone call was actually my business partner, Jared, he's a little bit more of a shark tooth negotiator than I am. So I think he did the majority of the talking on that call. But I think at the time, Matt was like mostly a Viner, and I didn't even have Vine at the time. Like I never had the app. I missed that whole thing. So I was more focused like on YouTube and New York City and those kind of creators. And I think like Matt and I were just more so friends. And Matt also, I mean, this is not a like numbers game, but I think Matt had like 80,000 followers on Instagram.
That's true.
And I didn't want to like just not be able to do something for him. Like,
Right.
I want to work, because brands sometimes don't always have money for smaller creators.
And Vine died.
Yeah. And
Right.
like Vine had just died. So Matt was like stressing out about this brand deal. And I was like, bro, this is a terrible deal. Like,
Yeah.
let me just talk to them, pretend
Good
we're your
job.
manager. And then
Good friend.
that's been making millions ever since.
That's right.
But yeah,
but no, honestly, one of the best decisions of my life,
Yeah?
ever, was teaming up with this guy. I
same,
truly,
Matt, same.
I truly
Your growth has
believe
been
it.
incredible.
And
Yeah, like when you
Yeah.
hit 1 million followers, you were like, I never thought I would have 1 million followers on Instagram.
no, never.
What a meteoric rise.
Yeah,
It is
that's
pretty crazy.
nuts.
I remember just like even when my friend got 1,000 followers in college, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
1,000. And so that's just been really cool. But it's also cool about how well like Mike has like also integrated like with our friends in around here in LA.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been
Like
nice.
some people have like really kind of like weird professional relationships with their manager. They have like boundaries and stuff. Like Mike is still like Mike and I
You
can
have a
hang
podcast
out
with him.
Yeah. And
Hold
so
on. I have to pee. I had a ton of water today.
gosh, unbelievable.
We can just chat on our own if you want.
Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek. Yes, SeatGeek, they're back. Thank you so much. SeatGeek just sponsored our big roast, which was a smash success. #1 on trending. You're welcome, SeatGeek. No, I'm just kidding. I want to thank SeatGeek. They've been a long-time sponsor with me. They've sponsored this podcast last year. They sponsored my YouTube videos, and they're the best company out there. They're so easy to work with, and their app is so easy. Go right now, guys. Go check out the SeatGeek app. Download it. Have it on your phone. Just have it ready, because let me tell you something. Going to see live events is so important. I've preached about it before. I'm going to talk about it again. You can go see concerts, sporting events, live theater. I've seen Hamilton through SeatGeek, and I always have the app on my phone. If it strikes me that night, if I'm looking for something to do, I check it. I see who's in town, and I can go see a live show. I recently saw Dave Chappelle through SeatGeek. That was one of the greatest nights of my life. And what I love about SeatGeek is that the tickets go right to your phone. As an older gentleman, I am just amazed at this. I used to lose tickets all the time. That would always be like, you have the tickets, and then I'd lose them in your pocket. They're right on your phone. You go in, you scan. When we went to Harry Styles, there was no problem. And I got one more thing to say about SeatGeek, which is if you go and download the app and you use my code NASH, you're going to get $20 off your first order. That's an incredible deal. $20 off right now. SeatGeek saying, hey, listen, come on in. Go see a live event. Go have fun, and take your significant other out there and go see a live show. It's so important. And my thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring this podcast.
Jason Nash is back. Welcome back to All Good Things
supposed
podcast
to
with
burn
Jason
when you
Nash.
pee?
What?
You're supposed to burn when you pee.
It depends. Do you have
Oh,
any?
you may have a UTI.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Let's see what else do I want to talk to you guys about.
Did you prepare for this?
Yeah. We wrote a lot of
Wow,
stuff.
good job.
And so you'll be married by the end of the year, and then you'll move in together, right?
Yeah. Then we'll move in together. But we
Nice.
already spend a lot of our time together as a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mike?
What time does catering arrive? By the way, I'm getting a little hungry.
Mike,
Dude,
weren't you you were in a bombing in Israel, right?
A shooting, but thank you.
A shooting. I think that's so fascinating. When I think about you, I always think about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think about that.
You don't?
No.
And because of that, because you're in that shooting in Israel, do you value life more? Like you had like a I've never had like a near death experience like that.
Yeah. It was.
Is it not something you want to talk about?
No, we can. It's just a little dark. I don't want it to get like flagged for
I'm
saying
sorry, I don't mean to.
for these like words, but there was a GUN and an
Yeah.
SHOOTING at a restaurant I was in.
Is YouTube like that now?
I think so.
Can't say. G-U-N. Go ahead.
I wouldn't. I don't know. It's
Yeah, go
safe.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was sitting at a restaurant and
We got flagged for me being too old last week.
what does that mean?
They just said too old.
They saw the thumbnail and went, nope.
Yep, nope.
And these two not so nice people took out some GUNs and unalived about 8 people at the restaurant I was at, like next to me. Ran.
How close were the people that got
perished
it next to you?
Like, I mean, table. It was an outdoor restaurant, like maybe 3-4 tables away.
Unreal. What time of night?
Like 10 p.m.
And you're just out there because I know in Israel that's like really fun to be out at
Yeah,
night.
I met. It was after a
cafes.
After a birthright trip, I met up with
How old were you?
like 25 or 26.
Shit.
Met up
You
with.
saw them get shot?
They were behind me, and I saw like people running, and I heard like 7 shots. Like it was, my back was to me. The person I was sitting at, he like went ghost white. Saw them behind me, grabbed me. I grabbed the girl we were with, and we ran. And as we were running, people were getting wrecked. And there's a Wikipedia article about it, which is like kind of crazy. And there's like all the footage from the restaurant, and you can like see me
Have
running.
You ever watched it?
Yeah. I used to like show people just to like, I think that was a way of like dealing with it, was just like talking about it.
Yeah.
What, do you remember the exact date?
No, actually. June 16th or June 14th, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
What year?
I think it was 27. I think it was June 14th, 2016. But like, I remember I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I just want to get the fuck out of here. I just want to go. And like, they locked us in a restaurant. It was a whole thing. I don't want to, that's not that funny. So I don't want to like do the whole
Sure.
episode.
We can cut it too.
Okay, so it happened. It was like really scary. We had to run. They kept us in this other restaurant that we ran into, and like then the police came and they let us out finally. I went home, didn't think anything of it, didn't like cry, didn't have a reaction, just like kind of just like, all right, well, I'm alive. That's fine.
Ferris has a thing on the screen that says "How to Get the World's Most Insane Abs." It's a YouTube title we're working on.
Oh, that's cool.
Mike's talking about a near-death experience. Go ahead.
It's Jess, do you have a sandwich you want to eat or anything? And then I came home and in Israel, actually, I think this was helpful, but like in Israel, I went to the families of the people that I was with to go to dinner at their house after, because it was like this bonding experience that I went with the 2 people, and they were like, oh, well, now you're officially an Israeli citizen, like welcome to the country. As like they were joking about it, like
Right.
we're constantly in a state of war here, you know, it sucks for everybody. Now you've earned your, you know,
Stripes.
Right.
as a joke, whatever.
Sure.
And like they were serving wine at the restaurant, like like right afterwards. They were like, they got the guys. It's fine. We'll let you out in a few minutes. Have a glass of wine. Calm down. Like it's gonna be fine. It's a very bizarre experience. And then I also was able to really connect with what kids in America are going through with all the school stuff. Like, because that's when it started. I mean, it's been happening for a while, but like
It's ramped
now that
up
it's
quite
ramped up quite a lot. I cannot imagine what it's. I mean, to be a kid in a place you're supposed to be safe in a school. Like it's f***ed up. I think that
It's
It's
so
spooky.
fucked
It
up.
happened.
Every time I drop my kids off at school, I'm
it's
like, God,
insane.
please.
So the only like I would say reaction I've had from it is I don't like going in elevators and I don't like going in the subway. I just don't like being in like an enclosed space now where I like can't get out.
Yeah.
And it's not even like I think something bad's gonna happen, but I think like that's the extent of my reaction. I've never gone to therapy about it. I probably should.
Right.
But I just like joke about it, talk about it, pull up the Wikipedia when I'm drinking once in a while, and just be like, I can't fucking believe that.
I do the same thing about the Wikipedia, or I don't think there's a Wikipedia.
Because here's the
about
craziest part. If I can dive a little bit into this story. Met the girl. She was in the army. She was an Israeli soldier.
Yeah.
And I had to wait for her to change out of her uniform and put on her street clothes. And I was like, fuck that. Just come in your uniform. I'm hungry. Like, I don't care. And she's like, no, unless you're carrying your gun, you don't walk around in your uniform because we're targets for terrorist attacks. And I was like, dude, no one's fucking shooting you tonight. Like, shut up. Just wear your fucking uniform. It'll be hot. It'll be cool. Like, that's sick. I'm going to dinner with a hot Israeli army girl, whatever. She changed out of her uniform. We go to the restaurant. I'm wearing like shorts and a tank top. And there are these 2 kids sitting right at the front and they're wearing suits. And she's like joking with me. And she's like, see, Mike, when you take me out, you should wear suits like these guys. I was like, I'm on vacation. I'm not wearing a fucking suit. Shut up. Right. And there was a table right next to them.
This girl to shut up, Mike. I don't think that no wonder this date didn't go very well.
It wasn't,
you told her
it
to
wasn't
shut
a
up,
date. It
Mike.
wasn't a date.
Shut up. Shut the up.
I wasn't saying it like that.
She's in the army.
Okay. It wasn't a date. We were just friends. And there was a table open up next to these kids too. And the hostess was like not letting us sit right there. She's like, you can't sit at this table. And it was a table right next to these 2 kids. And I just wanted to sit down because I was hungry. And she's like, well, we only have a section for you in the smoking section. It's like around the corner, like 2 tables that way. I was like, fine, I'll sit in the smoking section. We sit down in the smoking section, and then she comes back and is like, if you want that other table, we can give it to you now. And I was just like, I already got the menu open. Like, let's just sit here. And then she goes, what kind of beer do you want to have? And then the second she says that, it's just...
Oh.
And it turned out it was the 2 kids in the suits and the 2 people that were sitting at the table I was at. I would have sat at. Didn't make it. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it's crazy. It doesn't make any. I'm like, now I have like the chills. Cause like, it's crazy that for whatever, it was so bizarre that we couldn't sit at that table. Like the hostess didn't give me a reason, and we were supposed to, I wanted to sit at that table. And for some reason I was moved to a different table, and I'm alive now. I should think about this more, and I should value life more.
No, you do. You're very grateful.
I try,
You're-
but I don't.
no, I
I don't
think
do
you're
it
one
in
of
the
the most
context
grateful.
of like I survived that. But now that I'm like saying this, I'm like, damn, because then I could have just been not alive since 2016. I would have never moved here.
Could have been sitting at that table.
Yeah.
Easily.
Anyway, but now we're here.
Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of the 9/11
9/11 planes. Yeah. There's a lot. I mean,
Who?
Seth MacFarlane.
Oh,
The
yeah.
guy made Family Guy. There's like even before this.
And Mark Wahlberg would have stopped it if he was on. What a bizarre
Mark Wahlberg
thing
would have
to say.
stopped it.
You think so?
No, he would not have. Mark, no.
He said that in an interview. Well, if
I
I was
know,
on
I
the flight, I
know.
would have stopped it from happening.
Yeah, but that's like I grew up with like a macho dad like that. That's like
Yeah.
that's how they think.
Yeah.
They believe that they're superhuman, and that gets them through life.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like
okay.
that's what
Okay.
they need to say that
I take
so
it
they
back,
can-
Mark Wahlberg.
so they can
I
live
take
with
it back.
themselves.
Yeah, he's
you
friends
know?
with Joe Vulpes now. You might cross paths with him, and you don't want to be.
Mark
Went to one
Wahlberg
F-45 class. He's not friends with Joe Vulpes. Please don't spread that out there that Mark Wahlberg is friends with Joe Vulpes. Mark Wahlberg, stay away from Joe Vulpes. Don't go near him.
Do you
What's
have
your story?
Do you have a touching story,
Mine,
Matt?
not as intense, but a little. It did shake me up. This happened in October of 2010 at the University of Texas at Austin. I was a freshman in college, and this happened on October. It's like October 13th. It was I'm pretty sure it was mid or early October. Around 7, right before 8 in the morning. If you don't know the UT campus, I had intro to journalism at
don't.
the UTC. If our listeners, because sometimes I think it is interesting knowing exactly where I was.
Okay. No, explain it. I don't know the YouTube campus.
So I was
Can we
looking
pull up a map? Can we pull up a map?
I could show you.
Okay, so it's hallway E on the West Building.
Right there on 21st Street.
On Liberty
class
Ave on the
started,
JFK building.
Class started right at 8 in the morning. I had just walked into class. We sat down. And then right around, I'm pretty sure 8:04, 8:05, a bunch of kids started running into our classroom, screaming, "There's a guy outside shooting a gun." And we were
So much
all...
for not saying the words for you.
Oh.
He'll
One
block
more
it
time.
A
out.
bunch of...
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
And
All
so
right, he'll bleep it
class
out.
starts, and then a bunch of people started... There's a guy outside
Doing some bad stuff.
doing some bad stuff.
Bang, bang.
And then, but instantly we're like, huh? Is this like some like theater sketch? Like we thought like they were trying to teach us like about, weapon safety.
Yeah.
And because we had just studied Columbine. And so we couldn't believe it. And then
It's a
literally
musical.
another
Everybody
person comes
hide
in like
under the
screaming.
desk.
It's like going, get down. And so we all had to get under, what joke?
You didn't hear my joke. You said theater, and my thought was like they're going to come in and do a musical. Like, everybody
Yeah,
hide
yeah,
under the
yeah.
desk. This is a drill, but
Of
it's
course,
just
Matt
a
had
test.
improv on the brain. He's like,
I
damn
was like,
it,
am I
I need to
supposed to
sign up.
participate? Ooh.
These guys are having fun.
But so we all had to hide under the desks and stuff,
Yeah.
and then we had to lock all of the doors. And then more and more students started pounding on the doors. We then get alerts on our phone saying that there's a man on campus.
Did you let them in?
No, we wouldn't. But that was what was really scary, is because it was other students who were trying to get in, but we thought it was like the gunmen too. And I remember just being under the table with a bunch of kids, and I remember these 2 girls were just crying so hard and having to calm them and just being like, "It's fine, it's fine, it's fine." But it was just scary knowing that like our other students being killed like right now, knowing like this is a huge campus. So we were under lockdown from 8 a.m. until, I'm pretty sure, 3 or 4 p.m.
Oh, no.
What?
And I didn't have breakfast. I remember being so hungry that day. And we just had to sit there and watch the news.
Because
He's
you
on-
know
he's
me,
on
Mike. I
Postmates.
need to eat.
I know.
Postmate?
Yeah.
Can they deliver during an event?
It was before Postmates. Twitter had just, like, was kind of just a thing. Like, it
Yeah.
was really hard to
Wait,
figure out what
sorry
was
to
going on.
interrupt, but was there actually?
So what happened was
Yeah.
that this kid, shall we say the guy's name?
No, don't say his
No,
name.
never.
He was a depressed mathematics student, and he went on the bus that day with an 47 and a ski mask. He may have had another gun. He got off right at that first stop right outside of the UTC, right outside of my building. My classroom was like right there. Our door was exposed to the outside. He put on the ski mask, shot a couple rounds into the sky, a couple rounds into the street, and then just started like hollering. And then he ran into the PCL, the library right next to the UTC, ran all the way up to the top floor and unalived himself. And so it was like a day where like a really bad shooting was supposed to. And I'm saying supposed to happen,
But he was planning.
but
on
it was
maybe.
just so disturbing how you can be going about your day and then someone else is just having like the worst day ever, and you're just like a bystander to it.
Their last
I'm glad I
day.
wasn't like. Luckily, I wasn't too traumatized as it compared to some other students I knew that day who were in the library when it was happening, on the floor when it was happening. Like that type of stuff like really spooks me. But knowing that it happened within just like a couple 100 yards away, really has shook me up. So that was like my.
Well,
Didn't you have a roommate who like lied about being in the shooting too?
Oh, okay. So I had a roommate who was a compulsive liar. We were roommates during the time. Jason, I'm talking about compulsive lying.
No.
And I remember I had 8 a.m. class. He didn't have class on those days until like noon. So he got to sleep in. And it's always like the worst when you have to get up early for something and like someone else gets to sleep in.
Sure. You remember that.
He was sleeping in. And I went to class that day and I thought I had a crazy story that day. He goes, "Oh no, I saw the shooter. I was walking across," and I go, "That's impossible. I left the dorm room at 7:50 a.m. and I walked from Jester East to the UTC, and he goes, and so you're saying you woke up and you were right after me? Like, huh?" And so then I didn't believe him.
You called him on it.
And then I went
Because
and
most
on his
people, Matt,
laptop.
would just let it go. Be like,
Oh,
oh,
no,
cool, you
well,
saw him.
no,
Just know
I
he's a
actually,
liar.
no, I did let him have it. Till to this day, he's convinced about that story. But I was a bit of a creep, and I opened up his laptop when he wasn't looking and looked at his history. And realized he really didn't wake up until 11 a.m. that day, and that's when he started searching about like the shooting and reading everything about it. So
His first Google search of the day was
You would've
3
been-
hours
Did you call
after
the
it
police?
happened.
call the police on him.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hi, this guy's lying about being in the
Yeah,
shooting.
yeah.
I got all the evidence right here. That's really funny.
But I still to this day let him have that story, but I do not believe that he was there.
Have you ever had a brush with death, Jason?
Yeah, brush with death.
I almost drowned in Cape Cod, but other than that, no. I've been, I've
He
been
from
really
Cape
lucky.
Cod.
Yeah,
Get it.
I did. I almost drowned. I was running, and I
Running.
was running on the beach in Cape Cod,
Okay.
and I saw this sandbar, and this old lady turns to me, and she's like, I said, "Oh, I'm going to swim out to that sandbar," and she goes, "Oh no, the current will take you." And I was like, "Shut up!" I was like, "I'm strong. I don't know. Current's going to take me."
Yeah.
And so I go and I start swimming, and sure enough, fucking current comes,
What happened?
and it just takes me under.
Under the water?
Yeah. So I'm like drowning. I'm like, this is it. I'm done. Like, this is how I'm gonna die.
How old?
36.
Shit.
And
I thought the current takes you out, not under.
It
was taking me. It was taking me like away from where I wanted to go.
And you were underwater.
Yeah. No, I was drowning. I was like swallowing water, and I start screaming, "Help! Help!" And it's a really embarrassing moment. And then I just decided to like try to float.
Yeah.
It's like I panicked, and then the current takes me like crazy, like a mile down the beach, like not a mile, but like I don't know, quarter mile
Farther
down
than
the
you
beach.
want to swim.
Yeah. And by the time I got out, there were fire trucks. It was really embarrassing.
Is this the thing where you're supposed to be swimming not against it but with it, or like
You
there-
don't,
Yeah.
you don't try and swim
If
toward
you
the
did
shore.
know that, would it have saved you? Or,
Yeah, if I had known that.
But you're
Yeah.
supposed to. What are you supposed to do?
So when you're this
Caught in a
happened to-
riptide.
It happened to me in Barbados too.
Right?
We had a little had a couple of brewskis and wanted to go do a sunset float out in the water. Me and my boys. So we had a couple beers with us. Went out and just started floating. while we're finishing our beers as the sun was setting, and then we look around and we realize like the beach, we don't see our Airbnb. We're like far away and really far away from the beach, and we're like, well, let's head back, guys. And we start swimming, and we're swimming for probably 15 minutes, and we are no closer.
Yeah,
we are, and we're a little drunk. I'm not in shape at all, and I start to panic a little bit. And thankfully, one of my friends was smart. What you're supposed to do when you're realizing that you're swimming, you're not getting closer to the beach. Don't, like, if the beach is in front of you, swim with the coastline, and then you'll break out of the rip current, and then you can swim back to the beach.
Okay.
So thank God I swam harder than I've ever swam my entire life. I thought I was gonna die too.
That's exactly what I did. I
fucking
went
with the ocean.
Coastline.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but they were like, and even still, it's not easy to do, but it's impossible to get back to the shore just going forward. Mm-hmm. If I didn't know that, I would have probably exhausted myself because I just would have kept trying to swim. And then,
But I liked what she said about those moments in life where you're like what? Like,
it just doesn't make sense that you could have
weird moments like that.
Well, I had a friend tell me when I was really young, like early 20, like 23 or something, and he was like, "Oh, it's I just think about the bus factor." And I was like, "What's the bus factor?" And he goes, "Dude, we live in New York City. You could step outside right now and just get flatlined by a bus."
Yeah.
And that's it. That could happen any time of day. You cross the street 30 times a day in this city, someone's getting killed by a bus.
Yeah.
It might be you. If you die today, are you going to be happy with the life that you lived? Because realistically, that's like a high possibility that today could be your last day. So if that, and there's a lot of different versions of this quote, but like I would think about it like, damn, I could just get fucking wrecked by a bus right now.
Yeah.
I should really like be my best self.
I also feel like I've had so many lucky breaks in my life.
Oh yeah.
Like so many, like
that's
being
half
in
of
the
success.
being in the improv that night when David was there, is incredibly lucky.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. My kids, the way they came out.
Oh yeah.
Like what? Like they're both so great. Meeting my girlfriend, like
same. I was thinking about that with Patricia. I could have not gone to that party. That's always like
tell me, because I want to tell you my story.
I was at there was a watch party. Like a bunch of people rented out an Airbnb. A bunch of my college friends.
Is that where the suits?
UT people. That was the second time we met Patricia.
Okay.
But a bunch of UT people, Georgia people, Alabama people had an Airbnb watching a sports game.
When was this?
And this was 2018,
19. It was right when I moved here.
Yes, 2000 and actually it was like 2018
okay, so not
because
long
Patricia
ago.
and I started like really dating in 2019. It was fall of 2018, and I was like still newly single, but still it was hard for me to really get out of the house and like go do things. I was still very like, oh, curse the world kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then I was at the party and I look across the party and I just see Patricia talking sports with like a handful of guys, and it's just schooling them about their teams, their players, and everything. And I don't follow sports at all, but I was so attracted to just like how smiley and like spunky she was.
She was always really a soldier,
I thought she was just a light, and it's just. But I was really enamored. We didn't really meet. I like lightly introduced or just told her how much I thought of a light she was. I was very, very drunk, but then I kept running into her.
Patricia,
but if I was never
doesn't remember
it. But if I never went to that party, I would have never I don't even think could have also seen her in that like light too.
But then
like,
also we ran into her again, right?
Yeah, ran into her again at another party, and then I was still like I had already like looked up her name and everything.
Why would you not leave the house?
Just
back then.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It was just it was just like a depressing time in my life.
Yeah.
Well, because when like you're getting over a breakup.
Yeah.
You're in that phase where you're just like, I'm just not ready. I'm not gonna meet someone. You guys. But I had a really good buddy who just would get me out of the house and take me to events and things, and also going and hanging around like other people who were my age. I was also hanging around with just the Vlog Squad a lot.
Yeah.
But I needed to go hang out with like some college people and hang out with like also people who just I don't know. Didn't know who we are because Patricia a lot of girls who were interested in me because of like the internet stuff.
Sure.
Patricia had no clue who I was, and I loved that.
She thought he had fake followers because he wasn't verified. And she's like, did this kid buy 100,000 followers? That's so cringe.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you think you would have met her otherwise?
I hope so. I want to think that, but I don't know. Just the way the sun was hitting and the 2 or 3 beers that I had, and like locking eyes and just being like. This person is insanely beautiful. who knows if
What was your opening line?
the first thing I said to her? I said, "Hi, I'm sorry, I'm about to leave right now, but I gotta say, you are such a light. The way you talk and like carry yourself, you're adorable." And I just had to say that. And she goes, "Thanks, like you're making me blush." And then that was it. And then
Jess is over there like, no one's ever said that to me.
That's a great opening line.
yeah, but it was just
You know why? Because it's very genuine. It's something you would do.
Yeah, I was
that's
just,
who you
but I
are.
wasn't trying to like hit on her. Like
No,
I wasn't
also
also trying to like hook up Patricia. Or,
No,
like,
no.
Critical misplay, though. Didn't give his name. Didn't
Yeah.
ask for her last name. Just dropped the compliment and disappeared as if like somehow the universe is going to bring them together again.
Yeah.
And it did.
And it did, and it truly did. Because I didn't know if she had a boyfriend. I didn't know. I don't know.
Nothing.
There was just I didn't want to like embarrass myself around like all those people. Like,
Yeah.
it was just
And then
you just
it was, what was it, like 2 weeks, a month later, we went to the same house party. I think it was the same house, right?
yeah.
And Matt's friends had told him that it is a bar mitzvah themed party, so you need to wear a suit for this party. And so Matt and I showed up in suits to like a regular house party, and it was not a bar mitzvah theme at all. Everyone was just wearing regular clothes, and we looked insane, but we also looked really fucking cool, and everyone wanted to talk to us. So we were like, what are these two guys in suits doing here? And it's like the second party I ever went to in LA. And Matt was like, that cute girl with the raspy voice is here. I'm going to go talk to her.
I'm like, Patricia.
Yeah.
She's like, who are you? And I remember she didn't like that I had like my hair was like bleach blonde and I had like an earing and
She's
stuff.
like that.
She was like,
I remember that phase.
yeah.
So
Well, I
she
wanted
was,
to do. I wanted to do everything my ex didn't want me to do. So I was like, I'm bleaching my hair. I'm piercing my ear.
She was just randomly in LA.
Patricia?
Yeah.
No, she lived in LA.
Oh, but you were back home.
No, this
when
was
you
all
met
here
her.
in
this
LA.
This all happened in LA.
LA.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you were
A
at
bunch of college people who live in LA. Like,
Yeah.
It
It was.
I
This
get
was
it.
like also the first two parties that Matt had brought me to. Like I had just moved here 2 weeks
That's
ago.
right.
I remember.
And now I'm marrying her.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
it's so crazy thinking about that day that you're going to like meet your future like wife.
Yeah,
that's a wild thing to think about, but it's something you shouldn't go out and actively think about all the
No,
time.
you didn't go, okay, Patricia King, that sounds pretty good. Like
right.
that's not
Well, I had a friend who was like always thinking he was gonna meet like his
wife?
future wife, and I was like, dude, you got to snap out of like thinking every girl, like group of girls you're meeting. Like he was just trying to be like on it, like aggressively making eye contact with them. Just tone it down. Like you'll find each other.
I was all like out of hope. Really, I thought I'd be alone forever. I really did. And then I was in love with my girlfriend for like 2 years, and I didn't think she wanted anything to do with me. And then one day, she texted me, and I just feel super lucky. Like it's just weird. So now when I do see her at all, I'm like, I can't believe you're here.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're here at all.
I know. I also think a lot about like my younger self, like my like 8-year-old self, just being like, oh my god, I have such this like hot fiance.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I love like how proud like my younger self would like be too.
Mm-hmm.
I help you where I'm at.
I
as
also
well.
think about that. Like once you're happy, then everything will be taken away, too.
So
that's
fear?
your Jewish side.
So like when she leaves or something, I'm like, God, I hope she doesn't get hit by a bus, or
I
I
did
hope
was
you know what I
talking to-
mean. Like I hope I don't get hit by a bus.
Oh,
or,
yeah, and that's
I think that
normal.
all the
I
time.
was last night. I was having a huge, I wouldn't say an anxiety attack, but I was like
A meltdown?
A meltdown.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I just feel like something bad is gonna happen.
Oh,
Me,
yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like, everything's going so great.
Me
I'm
too.
loving it all. It's all everything.
When you're miserable, you wouldn't care if you got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just worried like I'm gonna get some call or like some text. I'm always worried about like the thing is like I don't need my phone to be on my phone all the time, but like sometimes when I have no signal, I'm like, hopefully nothing bad's happening right now.
I mean,
And so-
99.99999% of the time, nothing bad's happening.
Right.
No. Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. It's
I don't
really
know.
weird to watch you guys grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you getting engaged, like that's crazy.
You kind of have all watched us like
Yeah.
bloom
I've
into our own
watched all you
adulthood
guys.
from.
And you guys used to live together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
That was a really cool time.
That was fun.
Yeah,
It was really fun.
that backyard was so big at that house. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, it was
My
huge.
favorite was when we had Dylan Francis wake you up at
Oh,
midnight,
yeah,
and you were like
Oh my god.
fast asleep.
And I had my
Your
my mouth
face
guard
retainer
on.
thing,
My-
whatever.
yeah.
Your mom was sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we were like, well, we got to go in and set it all up.
She
and
was
then
carrying
and then
speakers.
I'm like,
My mom
bringing
just told me
in-
this story.
Yeah, I was like bringing in stuff, and I look. We had already had been setting up, and then I just look over the couch. Your mom just sleeping. I go, Jason's mom is sleeping. Like, I was like, what? Like, do we think this through? We had to wake her up. Like, sorry, we're about to have another party. Oh my gosh, go ahead.
She said, she goes, Todd grabbed me on their shoulder. He said, Mrs. Nash, you gotta go upstairs. It's really funny.
That was a fun house.
All right, guys, you guys want to play Truth or Cricket?
No.
Oh, truth or cricket? Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
sure, I'm not going to eat any crickets, though.
Come on, Mike.
They're not kosher. I mean, come on,
Hoot and a
guys.
half or good influences? Truth or Cricket?
Honestly, good influences.
I get that, because on Hoot and a Half, it's like our show. We're the hosts. We have to be interviewing someone. We have to prepare. I have to do all the production. I get that.
Yeah.
And good influence is almost like therapy, because we're just
Yes.
shooting the shit with our friends. We
Low
love
lift.
them both.
You should have that for Hoot and a Half. You should have somebody produce it.
I don't know. I think we make. I don't know. I've had some ideas of switching up Hoot and Half.
Okay.
Getting rid of Mike.
No, absolutely not. But making it more like a pull that thing up kind of a thing, rather than being like, so what were you like in high school? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
'Cause you also-
I've had a lot of the
we've done
origin
Hoot and
story
Half for,
interviews.
like-
I'm kind of done with.
Dude, I think we started Hoot and a Half in like May of 2020.
Yeah?
We've been doing it for like almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah.
It's 2022.
It's about to be 2023 in like 8 days.
Something with a little bit more structure. I don't know. I could be interested in.
Mike, how much did you make off managing Matt this year?
I don't know the answer to that, but
We
I
don't
can
talk money
we don't
like that.
we don't talk about money like that.
Truth or Cricket?
I'll eat a cricket for you to not answer. You love asking the money questions to people.
You don't have
They
to
do
eat
good
a
on
cricket.
TikTok.
You don't have to eat a cricket.
I want to.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
You're not-
Ew,
you're
the
not gonna tell me?
crunch. No, we don't.
I know Matt gets paid a lot.
Matt gets paid what he is worth.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's
That
really
means-
funny because if you had like David here, he would tell you. Some
David
people
would
can
tell
talk
me?
about it. Some people don't.
We don't.
It's-
That's not.
it's just
Well,
not-
that's not how I was raised.
It's not polite to.
That's
talk
not how I
about-
was raised either. In fact, when David started like talking about, he would ask me, he's like, "What'd you make last month?" I'd be like, "Yo, what do you mean?"
Yeah, it's also impolite to talk about someone else's finances too, right? Like I don't tell anyone what
We're
Matt
asking
makes.
what you made.
I know, but
I
that
don't
would
think
imply.
I don't think it makes people feel very good.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
truly, like I sometimes like I.
Oh, that's interesting.
When I see clips about it, like or reading people like talk about it, when you like hear about someone's never like, well, now I feel good about what I do. Like there are people who are really working their fucking asses
Right.
off, and they
Yeah.
they get paid what they get paid,
Mhm.
and gloating about what you get paid and how cool and fun it is. It's sometimes I don't think you earn like that much like hooray
All right,
or
I'll drop it.
pizzazz.
it also
Oh,
makes
wait,
you
no,
less.
no, no.
It
Oh,
makes you
oh,
like less
should I?
related.
Yeah.
People are saying like salary transparency is like a good thing though. So
This
people
is not
are
salary.
saying,
We don't work
we're not
for an
salaries.
employer company.
Yeah, yeah.
but you're
like a
saying
company.
you were raised not to talk about money. Period. What if you had a normal job?
I don't know. I don't.
I think if we had normal jobs, like if I worked at like Deloitte, I would 100% be one of those people. Like
Deloitte, what's that?
it's a bank.
Oh, that was a
I
coffee
forgot
shop.
you're only half Jewish.
I only talk about. I'll only talk about what I make with you or my family. and that's
Okay,
it.
Matt, who won't be invited to your wedding?
Who won't be?
Cricket. I'm taking.
Wait,
cricket.
really? You could say who's not. You could say one person who's not going to be
No.
invited.
I hope I
No.
get the invite.
You will. You're
with a date?
invited. Jess, I think you're. I'm pretty sure. I think you.
You
are.
better become really good friends with Matt over the next
Or
6
go-
months.
You got to sweeten up
A
Patricia.
year.
Who was I
too.
just?
Matt refused to remember my name and my two other friends that were close with Mike, and it took him a year before he accepted that we weren't leaving and that we were.
It's true.
friends.
It is true.
I would hang out with Jess.
Yeah,
Angela,
you
and
introduced
Mika.
me to Jess.
Yeah, and I would have these three friends of mine, Jess, Mika, and Angela. Every single time, and it was probably over a year. We'd show up to a party, they'd be with me, and Matt never knew their names because he thought that the last time he saw us was going to be the last time he ever saw them.
Yes, I kept thinking, I'm like, they're not going to be like regulars. Like this is a one-time thing. Mike is trying to hook up with one of them. You didn't hook up with any, but like, I kept thinking like they're temporary, and so, and I
For
kept
a
thinking
year.
that they were fans and that they were always like trying to like come around and like hang out. So
Here I am.
here you are, Jess, Jennifer. Whatever.
Mike, who's your favorite client? That's
Oh,
you have to think.
yeah. It's It's Matt, obviously.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even know who Mike represents.
Ever had a threesome?
Define threesome.
More than one person in the room. Define threesome. Going out on the golf course with 3 guys. What do you think?
Like having premarital sex with 2 people on the same night?
Neither of you are married. What?
I'm just trying to define. Can you
a threesome?
If you're like making
have you ever
out,
been in have you ever had sex with two people at once?
I mean, the answer is no. I just wanted to see how far you could.
We know it's no.
That's
for you.
too personal.
Okay, so yes. He could have just ate the cricket. Who's hooked up with more girls? That's a good one, Jess.
Oh, I don't know. We might be pretty. You want to say your number? Me.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of believe that.
You do. You have. He's crazy with girls. He really goes in
he
there.
He loves it. That's his favorite time.
And you know what? You nag the girls too. I've noticed that.
I don't think of it that way. I just really
he does.
I like Don Rickles a lot, and so I just try and do my best Don Rickles impression. It's not like when you say neg, I think that implies that you're like being mean to people. I just like joking around.
Oh, you're just joking around.
Yeah.
He also kind of Mike does the psychoanalyzes them.
Oh, sometimes
he
I'll
tries
try
to
and
figure
solve
out.
it. What
He
does he
tries
do?
to figure out their
Solve their
insecurities.
problems.
He tries to figure out their problems, and then
But not
he's
even
like,
in a hitting on way. I just
is
like
there
helping
to
people.
talk to them.
Right.
Like if a
Well,
girl's like, this just happened the other day. This is a girl who's like seeing a guy at Patricia's house. She was like taking a bunch of mirror selfies and was doing like so many. And I was like, what is this perfect selfie you're trying to get? And she was like, well, I'm trying to get the attention of a boy. And I was like, so what do you think is going to happen? She's like, oh, well, if I take a hot selfie, he'll see it on my story and then he'll like DM me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, why do you want him to DM you? And she's like, well, I don't know. I just kind of want the attention. I was like, well, do you want the attention because you like him, or is it because you feel insecure about something?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
is
Break
there
it
another
down.
And we're just like having a conversation. I just like doing that.
Yeah.
I like talking to people.
And did you hit on her too?
No, not at all.
No.
surprising.
I don't have.
I thought. You,
Okay.
It's also it's easy for us to sit there and judge him because we have relationships.
Yeah.
I also didn't know how to talk to girls ever. Like in high school and college, like I was just like a super nerd. And
I still don't.
I guess not. I don't know.
Okay, Mike. F, marry, kill. Ella, Taylor, or Natalie?
F, marry, kill. Ella, Taylor, or Natalie?
Yeah.
Can we swap out Natalie for someone else?
No.
You make that kill. The
You put in
Yeah,
Corinna
no,
if you
well-
want.
Okay. I would kill Natalie.
Okay.
F, Taylor, marry Ella.
good choice.
And it's not. It's mostly because I feel like I could have the longest relationship without killing myself with Ella.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
No offense to either. I love all of them.
No,
They're all great.
but
Not a
Ella
match.
would be a great life partner.
Yeah, she's like, and I think her and I
Why
are
do you
most.
say life partner? Like she's gay or
Just-
something?
No, like-
because that's like because I think like Mary or
It's
F,
like-
F Mary kill.
It's like you're
I'm just
forced
kidding.
into this.
I think like Mary is like you are married to them, but you can't have sex. Right? I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
usually
yeah,
a
yeah.
rule. So like you
yeah.
just share life with them. Like I don't know, like
Have you ever stolen anything?
yes, not like no.
I had one thing that I did one time.
I think I've taken things that weren't for sale.
What?
You say you've taken something from someone's house.
No, like I'm a bit of like a klepto at restaurants or stuff. Like
Yeah.
if this is a nice steak knife, I might take the knife.
Like,
Like
grab it.
yeah,
you
or
won't.
like some like weird like thing. I'll steal something like that.
There
But
was
nothing like aggressive. Like
I did a
Nothing
scam
worth
in
anything.
high school at Abercrombie and Fitch where you would take the sale sticker off of a sale item, put the sale sticker on a more expensive item, and then when it rings up, you go, "Oh, well, it says it's on sale."
No way.
you
that
argue-
is- that is just.
And then you argue with them, and they're like, "But it says it's on sale." I'm like, "Where'd you get it?" I said, "In the sale rack." And they're like, "Well, it's not in the system." You do a little bit of negotiating, and then they're like, "All right," they type it in, and I felt so. I saved like $10. I know. I felt so bad, and I think I went in and I was like, I think this is a mistake, and then
I steal
returned it.
Whataburger, like the order number thingies, the little plastic things they put on your tray. I steal those.
Matt, have you ever cheated on a girlfriend?
No.
Matt, favorite co-host, Mike, Carly, or Erin?
Honestly? Oh, wait, but Mike.
I don't want to hear it.
No, I guess no, but like the thing is I love talking with Mike, but Mike sometimes doesn't know a lot of things that I want to talk about. Does that make sense?
Like pop culture things.
Like pop culture things.
Yeah, he didn't know
Our
Lady Gaga
childhoods
was.
are very different. He didn't watch Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. And Carly and I are, since the humors are very the same, I think Carly is my favorite co-host in terms of like,
Oh,
good
he's gonna
grief.
leave.
Can I be honest about that?
I'm making a joke.
I
Mr.
could, I
Theatrical.
would love, I could talk to Carly for a long time about certain specific things.
That's cool.
But you know what? We live in a world where we don't have to choose, and we get to do it all.
Yeah.
But I say that with safety, where I don't think it even
I
bothers
do.
Mike.
Have skin that changes colors based on your emotion, or tattoos that appear on your body depicting what you did yesterday.
Wait, having your skin color changes on your emotion,
Yeah, so I could.
or you have tattoos depicting what you did yesterday.
I think the skin color on the emotion.
The tattoos would be so embarrassing if you masturbated or something, though. You know,
Yeah,
It'd just be so bad.
I know. I always
It would
thought
just
that,
be
like,
there every day.
Yeah, that's like that David Sedaris joke where he said he went to a nudist colony, and you always knew when someone took a shit because there'd be a big ring around their ass.
Oh my
walking around. Such a good joke.
Wow, that's good.
Well, guys, those are all the questions. This has been a really good podcast. Let me just ask before we go, can you just give me one little piece of life advice that our viewers can take home with them? You guys seem to have it together.
Sign Matt King in 2016. It's a joke.
My biggest advice is go find people on the same wavelength as you. There are, but I'm not saying you don't.
You know what? 100%. Go finish what you're saying.
Go
We were just
find
talking
people who are
about
on the
this.
same wavelength as you. But by no means does that say stop being friends with the friends that you have now. But trust me, life gets a lot more interesting when you find people who like what you're into, or think you're funny, or are interested in what you do. There's a lot of good things happen about that, and putting yourself out there is what's going to get you there. If I didn't put myself out there on Vine, I would have never attracted all of these hooligans in my life. I had a lot of people who were my friends in college who were like, "That's stupid what you're doing. Why are you doing that? Oh, you want to go hang out with those internet people? By all means, do that." And they're going to convince you that you are making the worst decision ever, and that's not the case. Go put yourself out there, find your tribe, find your people. Life will treat you well. All right.
So
great
good.
answer.
Wow. I like that. Mike, you got anything?
Yeah.
Life advice? How much time you got? I think
Ferris has to go.
I would just say
Advice, how much time you got?
to capitalize.
We're probably gonna
joke.
cut this because Matt's was so good. But go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep it short. You are responsible for everything in your life.
Yeah.
And the sooner that you accept that, the sooner you can start to fix the things that are bothering you, because you are ultimately responsible for everything.
Yeah.
And it's easy to look at the world and blame the world, but everyone has problems. Everyone has shit that they're dealing with. But you have survived 100% of the worst days of your life so far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can get better as long as you decide to and choose to.
Wow.
And there's ways to do that. Matt gave great advice for how to do that. But you live in a world where you can go on YouTube, type in, I mean, it sounds funny, but like Tony Robbins, Atomic Habits, like Napoleon Hill, Naval. Like there's so
Sure.
much.
You believe in all those guys. You like all
I
those.
love Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
There's a reason why these people are around. Like some people just need a little bit of help, and it's okay. And I need help. I need motivation. Like motivation doesn't last. You need to get inspired by people. You need to learn new things. The hardest thing is starting. And then once you've started, you're on your way. So just get started.
Wow. Really good. Both of you guys. That's probably the nicest thing I've heard from either of you. That's really nice. I don't get this when I watch Hoot and a Half.
Do you think we need to do that more?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, you guys are great.
We go for the laughs.
Those are both really good. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
to Jess. Thanks to Ferris. Go check out Hoot and a Half on YouTube, Spotify. Also check out Good Influences with Carly and Erin and these two. And we will see you next time on the All Good Things podcast.
See y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.